Is if the Wildcats want to spring the upset are imperative with Brett Farr and Michael Crales looming at the final two-way. So Mitch Sliga, Nick Wanzek, two sophomores, Sliga, the redshirt sophomore, Wanzek, true sophomore from Inver Grove Heights, another Simley product, Sliga from Fishers, Indiana.
Absolutely. This is going to be a great duel between two guys. You know, they're not ranked, but they're very tough opponents. They beat and wrestle some of the best guys in the country. Wanzek from Simley High School, so you know he's teammates Jake Short, father Jake Short, coached Wanzek. So we have that Minnesota connection right there, and you know both these guys are looking to get something going. Both these guys can beat each other, so this is going to be an interesting dual meet to see you know who can edge the other guy out.
You know, look at some of the common opponents. Obviously, Alex Meyer of Iowa, he majored Wanzek last week, and he tech-falled Sliga a couple weeks ago. So that's really, of the last few matches, the most common of opponents. And both struggled against Meyer, who's a top 10 product over there in Iowa City.
I think one of the biggest matches that Nick Wanzek won this past year against Rutgers Philbocaucus. You know, and that's another Big Ten. That's another Big Ten matchup. So, you know, this Big Ten conference is no joke. You know, people talk about it being the SEC conference of football. So, you know, you're going to be wrestling the best guys day in and day out. Wanzek here, they've been in a little bit of a scramble. It looks like he's going to get that 2 points. You know, Sliga almost fought it off, but Wanzek really was able to, you know, secure that takedown. And Sliga does a great job getting his knee through that hold there to save him from giving up some back points.
Wanzek's 3-3 in Big Ten duels this season. He bumped up. He did wrestle 65 last year for the Gophers, bumped up because of a hole at 174. Sliga and Wanzek actually both all academic Big Ten conference wrestlers, so as good as they are on the mat, they're just as good in the classroom.
Absolutely, and Nick Wanzek was part of the 21-19 victory for Minnesota last year, going against Pierce Harger. There was some discrepancy in that dual meet. With that being said, Wanzek finished the match, ended up saving some team points for the Gophers of Minnesota. And you know, now we're here tonight in the almost somewhat more important, you know, dual meet, very close still, and he's going to want to use this match to, you know, shift the momentum in Minnesota's favor.
He's up over a minute of riding time is Wanzek. Still on the back of Sliga, 5 seconds remaining. And the ref blows the whistle, 3.6 seconds, 75 seconds of riding time for the Gophers sophomore.
You know, it's essential for Nick Wanzek to finish the remainder of the 3.6 seconds left on the clock. You know, Sliga almost gets out, but we saw in the other match, Short for Certis, 3 seconds is plenty of time. Short, you know, secured that takedown in 3 seconds, so, you know, anything can happen, and that's why you wrestle till that final whistle's blown.
Yeah, that's still, if you're just joining us, the counter and late takedown. I think it actually ended up being a late near fall maybe. Got up to 7 points on it. It was a 7-4 win for Jake Short.
Yes, it picked up some near fall, you know, feet to back. And, you know, that's move not really, you know, a common move. Short, you know, wrestled to that final whistle, though. You can't blame him. You know, he got the job done. That's what he needs to do. And, you know, we're almost seeing, like, Certis was kind of on a different level. You know, maybe Certis had his number today. But, you know, Short wrestled all the way through. Wrestled till the whistle blew, and he ended up coming out victorious.
As you said, you're down the stretch, you're wrestling, but he might have had that, you know, that eye on the clock. It was ticking down, and he let his guard down for 1 second, and big kudos to Short, like you said, wrestling to the final horn, and he ends up getting a big victory for the Gophers.
Sliga on a very important single here finish. He got the leg in the air. You really want to get a takedown here if you're Northwestern with 1:15 left. You got to have a little better finish than that. Wanzek does a good job capitalizing on that finish. Sliga had his leg in the air. Kind of looked like he tripped a little bit. Wasn't really sure what happened. But, you know, Wanzek is almost in position to turn this position around and give himself a takedown. as a coach, you never want to really see your wrestlers extended. And that's what happens. And
Got it.
Wanzek gets that takedown.
Gophers staff again up off their seats, as you said, imploring him to get the takedown. He finally gets it, and it's now 5-0 advantage for Wanzek.
And you know, Minnesota's, they got to respond right now. Back and forth battles all night, and they are. Luke Norland, 165, just has a very, very huge momentum swing for Northwestern, picking up the fall. And you know, now it's important for Nick Wanzek to return that favor and, you know, let the big guys take over for Minnesota in the upcoming weights.
Wanzek accumulating the riding time. Ref blows him back to the whistle, blows him back to the middle, I should say. 7.3 seconds. Comfortable minute and a half of riding time for Wanzek. Gophers in the midst of a 4-match road streak here. They head up to Madison after this one for a dual meet Super Bowl Sunday with the Badgers in Wisconsin. So 5-0 Wanzek with the advantage. Riding time, minute 40. And here's that takedown you're talking about where he finally worked it, and he got awarded the points from the referee.
Third period coming to action here, and you know, Wanzek's got a minute and 40 seconds of riding time. He's got to feel comfortable about that. So his objective probably here is to ride tough, and you want to score some points via near fall here, not letting Sliga get off his base. And you know, when you're on bottom for that long, you know, even though you're not giving up points, it's tiring. You got a guy who's, you know, your weight exactly on top of you, you know, fighting for you not to get up. So it definitely has, you know, definitely plays a toll in the match. And Sliga, you know, just got to fight through that. Minute and 30 seconds left to get out and maybe get another feet-to-back takedown like Short did.
It's interesting. Gophers coach is really more vocal than Northwestern said. How much as a wrestler do you hear them? How much do you know, rely on your own instincts when you're on top, when you're riding like this, looking for some more points here in the third period?
Sure. You know, as a wrestler myself, I definitely think people try not to, you know, let all that negativity out because you're going to hear the fans, you're going to hear other coaches. So it's tough to really pick and choose what you hear. But in the back of your mind, you know, you might not be listening to it 100%, but you're going to hear it. You're going to hear it, and then when your mind like hears your voices from your coaches, it's going to click in you. You know, like you always see coaches telling the wrestlers, cut him, and you know, and there's a lot of other noises going along, but they hear that cut him, they let them go, and you know, they go back on their offense. So I think, you know, you try to block everything out, but once you hear your coaches, like it's kind of, you know, a dog. You know, when its owner calls its name, you hear it and you respond to it. So I definitely think like my mentality is you want to continue wrestling, but it's always going to be in the back of your mind.
Wanzek putting on a clinic here in the third of being on top. He's up over 3.5 minutes right now. It's going to be just a decision. So Sliga looks like he'll fight off the major, but pretty much a start to finish convincing win for the redshirt sophomore Nick Wanzek from Minnesota.
And you know, you wonder if he's got roughly 3:41 minutes of riding time. You know, maybe he could have given some of that up and worked towards a major decision. You know, it's only a decision here, so